Have you ever wondered if a princess cruise is right for you?
If so, then join us today and we're going to help you figure that out.
So we're going to talk to you today about the 5 things that we love about Princess.
We're going to give you our top 5 things we loved, with our favorite one coming last. So stay to the end to catch that one. We also have a bonus one about what we love.
Oh.
And then we're going to talk about the few things that we didn't love. And so let's get going with the first thing that we loved.
The first one is the buffet.
Oh, the buffet. And it's hard to believe the buffet didn't make number 1 because it was that good. But it was fantastic. I would argue probably one of the best buffets at sea, especially on our latest Princess cruise on the Sky Princess. You could have ate every single meal there and been satisfied, which is something that we would never say usually about a buffet.
It's true. I am usually the last person to want to go to a buffet, but I thoroughly enjoyed the buffet the times that we ate there during our recent sailing. Well, in our last couple of sailings, I should say, not just the Sky Princess, also the Caribbean Princess. I couldn't get over the amount of selection that was at the buffet and the quality of food.
Yeah, the quality of food was pretty amazing. We heard it time and time again from people that we were traveling with how much they loved it, even at dinner time. But what caught my attention was the different special stations that stood out to me. They had a little unit in the middle of the buffet that was just full of pastries and coffee. That was one of my favorite spots. But also there was a specific spot for children's food, which was really interesting, just for children. And of course, you had to try the chicken nuggets, were one of the best things on the whole buffet, and that was at the children's section. But there was also a gluten-free, vegan, East Indian food. There's so much variety and so many special, wonderful things on the buffet, and every day they had the same themes but different foods. There was always different selections, even though a lot of the similar food varieties were always there.
For sure.
Yeah, and breakfasts were always hot, and lunches were very unique. I think I had meatloaf at lunch one day.
And the reason why I liked it so much was that I was never in a big long line. Anytime we went there, and we were often there right at the peak lunch hour rush or breakfast rush, and never did I feel like I was in a long line waiting to get food to the point that by the time I sat down, my food was cold. That never happened, which is the main reason why I generally don't like buffets. But there were lots of different stations, and there was rarely a line.
Rarely a line, and on top of that, when you were sitting at your table, there was lots of staff working in the buffet that were bringing you by beverages, or they would get an order for the bar if you like to have a drink.
That's true.
They were bringing you new cutlery. They were quickly clearing away the table. So the service, the staff, just made it even that much more so. You didn't have to worry about getting your food and saying, oh, now I have to go to drink.
Yeah.
You could have a cold drink right there when your food's still warm, and it all came together. It was an excellent setup, the buffet.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. So number 2 on the things that we love is that the drink package works on the private island on Princess Cay's.
It does. And so that is a lovely little bonus. We love a private island. We love snorkeling, swimming, having lunch on the island, all those things that most cruise lines have. But a lot of cruise lines on their private islands, your drink package doesn't work. Some do, but Princess, it definitely does. So you can go snorkeling for the morning, go and have a leisurely buffet lunch barbecue, and have drinks throughout the afternoon if you'd like. So that's a really nice little bonus.
And that's all part of the Princess Plus package that Princess offers as a group of amenities that you can purchase. As drinks, internet, and the gratuities for the staff are all included in Princess Plus. And there's also Princess Premium now, which has a few more bonuses as well. But if you have that package on the ship, it's going to work on the private island, which is really interesting because there's other cruise lines that do stop in at Princess Cays, and their drink package doesn't work on the island. So it's not an island thing. It's actually a Princess Cruise thing, and how they've married the two up.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what a wonderful experience that you can get off. You have a few drinks on the island in the afternoon as you're enjoying the beach, and you get back on. Your same drink package keeps on working on the ship. So
yeah.
A nice seamless experience when it comes to the private island.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So the next thing that we loved about our Princess experience was the nightlife on board.
Yes, there was so much to do. I don't even know where to begin. There was movies under the stars, and nobody does movies under the stars better than Princess.
Lovely cushioned seats, blankets, popcorn, you name it. You can get it on at their movies under the stars.
And then throughout the ship, if you're not watching a movie, you want to go from lounge to lounge and catch musical acts and different things that are happening, even educational activities. We saw a show about parrots, one with real parrots.
Enrichment Fox.
Enrichment talks as well. So there's that activity going on inside the ship.
There's live music in multiple venues. We often found with our nightlife, we had to sort of pick what we wanted to see the most because we couldn't see it all.
Yeah, there was so much going on. We had to prioritize what we wanted to. It wasn't like we're looking for something. We were trying to figure what we were going to have to miss, unfortunately.
That's right.
Yeah. And one thing that I noticed around the ship, everywhere you went, there was people dancing. A lot of cruises, there's bands playing, there's a dance floor, and everybody's thinking, who's going to be first? Is anybody going to get up and dance? Not on Princess. There's always people up dancing.
For sure. They also do really good trivia things if that's your thing. We saw like the lounge where they did most of the trivia games where you need to get there early if you want a seat because there were a few times we tried to get in and we couldn't even get a seat. So there's trivia and game shows. They have karaoke, you name it. They do it all in the evenings.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Princess, from the time you put on your evening wear and you hit the dining room for dinner, from that point on, right through as late as you want, there's activities. We even one night went up to the nightclub and danced the night away to ABBA.
Yes, they have themed dance parties at the nightclub that we had a blast doing that for sure.
Yeah, so definitely nightlife is a plus on Princess, and you'll never be bored, and there'll always be something to do. So the fourth thing we loved about Princess was the main theater.
For sure. I am a sucker for a good production show, and let me tell you, Princess wins top points with me for the quality of production shows and general entertainment that they have every night in their main theater.
I would argue that probably at least two of the best production shows I've ever seen on any cruise ship were both on Princess ships. I saw a theater show called Five Skies. I'm not even sure how to describe it because it involved every element you could imagine in a main theater show. There was tech, there was amazing singing, there was acting, dancing, props, costumes.
Beautiful costumes, yeah, for sure. The other one, the one that stands out for me as one of my favorites that I've seen is the show Bravo that we saw in the Caribbean Princess. I am telling you, talented singers, gorgeous costumes, a lovely storyline. It was just, I felt like I was on Broadway Strip in New York watching a show, for sure.
And not only great singers and costumes, but live music, live bands backing up the shows. That's something you're not seeing much more anymore in the cruise industry. You get that at Princess on their big production shows as well.
For sure.
And I think what stands out too is that some other cruise lines are doing name brand productions from Broadway, West End, that type of thing. Princess, I would say that the caliber of their own production shows, the Princess shows themselves, are equal to some of those shows we've seen in other cruise lines.
Right. And I would say the other thing, when they're not doing their grand production shows, they have really good, solid entertainment, generally with guests performers that they bring on that may perform one or two nights through the show. So we've had the opportunity to see some amazing singers that have come on and done their own show. We've seen Elton John impersonator. That was a really enjoyable evening. They have really good shows every single night of their cruise.
Yeah, and we just mentioned the Nightlife was a plus. We wanted to pull this one out of Nightlife. Even though this is part of the Nightlife, it was so special to us, we thought it deserved its own category as being one of our things that we loved because it was that good, and it just added to the entire Nightlife and activities that were available.
Exactly.
So don't miss the shows on Princess.
Yeah, get to that main theater. So the thing that we absolutely love the most about Princess is this little thing you see right here. Their little medallion, their app, and the way that those two things work together to make your vacation extra special is amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to explain what it all does because it really does almost everything. You see an opportunity there to be able to order room service using the app. And then through the medallion, they know where to bring the food. You can be up on deck ordering a breakfast sandwich. We did that one day. And along comes a staff member with your breakfast sandwich and a coffee or whatever else you've ordered on the app right there.
Absolutely.
They can bring it to your room. If you're in your room, it can act as room service as well. But it's kind of like having room service everywhere on the ship.
Everywhere. Yeah. And this is also how you open the door. You don't have a key card that you have to carry around, which myself as a woman traveling, I don't always want to have a purse with me. You know, we don't usually have pockets to put our little card in. And so having this that you can wear as a bracelet or a necklace or a piece of jewelry, all I have to do is wear this. I walk towards our cabin door. It recognizes that it's me coming and it unlocks the door and allows me to enter in seamlessly, which is really great if you're coming back to your room with snacks or drinks from somewhere.
And another nice thing about it is with the Medallion, you can use the app or your TV or even some of the TV screens that are available around the ship to find other people that are in your party. So if you want to find out where Mrs. Canuck has gone to, I can just look. I can see what lounge she's in, what bar she might be at. And I can go find her. And if you lose your medallion, like I did, you can actually use someone else's app to find out where you left your medallion and go pick it up.
How many times have you lost it?
It may have happened every cruise.
Yes.
But not only that, the Medallion app, it can be used on shore. A lot of these stores that are at the ports also take the Medallion, so you don't have to worry about pulling out your credit card. You can actually tap and you can pay right there with it.
And if you use this buying purchases on land in one of their approved stores, you actually get a discount on your purchase.
Yep.
So if that's something you're into, especially I noticed a lot of it was jewelry stores, but some other souvenir type stores too. But if you're looking to buy jewelry and you're saving, I forget the exact amount, 10, 15%, wow, that's great.
You use the Medallion to get on and off the ship. So you have that. It replaces your key card and it has the facial recognition built into it, which is a nice option. And a nice feature about it is that the staff are also using the Medallion to figure out what your preferences and likes are. You may be sitting in a lounger. You may have been there for 6 days on a cruise, and every day at that time you order a margarita. The staff may walk up and say, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Canuck. Would you like a margarita again this afternoon?" Because they can see on their display who you are, what you've ordered, and they can kind of cater to your needs.
They can also tell you how many drinks you've had, because you had a comment one time when you went and had a pre-dinner drink and they said, "Oh, Mr. Canuck, you haven't had a drink all day." So it helps them keep track of everything.
Yes, I firmly believe that the way the Medallion works with the app and with your TV and how it all comes together with the technology on the ship, it is far ahead of any other cruise line that is doing anything remotely the same. That definitely enhances the cruise experience. I know there's a lot of frustration with technology on cruises now, with people, with cell phones and having to carry them stuff. This solves a lot of that, and it really makes for a better cruise experience.
And the one thing I will say, even though we have this and you can order from your app, in our experiences, Princess was really good at everywhere we went, providing us with paper menus and giving us options where we didn't have to be using our phone to do it. So in the main dining room every night, we were given a beautiful menu. Most of the bar lounges, the menus were presented to us. So you don't have to be afraid of this technology, but you're going to love that, it does the simple things for you, like unlocking your door and all of those sort of things.
Yeah, I would argue trying Princess just for the app and Medallion experience is worthwhile. Mm-hmm. So remember I told you there was going to be a bonus one that we loved?
Oh,
This is the time for that. And for me, the bonus is with Princess is this is the original Love Boat. I grew up watching the Love Boat series when I was younger, and so I love getting on the ship. When you hear the horn going and you hear the Love Boat theme going, it brings it all back. At least it does for me.
Yeah, some of the ships, the horn, instead of a traditional horn, plays the tune of the opening song for the Love Boat show. But the other thing is you can watch Love Boat in your cabin if you want. They have a channel specifically for that.
Yeah, and if you're new to Princess and you've been watching TV recently, they also have The Real Love Boat, which is a new series, kind of a spin-off of the traditional Love Boat theme.
Yeah.
So you've heard about the things that we loved. Now we're going to mention 3 things that we didn't love. So the first thing we didn't love was that we found some mystery charges on our bill.
So as much as we love this app, there are times where it doesn't work as good as you would hope. So we found on our cruise that a hint for you is that to make sure you check your bill regularly. So often in the morning, I would just pull up our invoice on our TV. It's right on your television set in your cabin. And I would just check that to make sure that there weren't any charges that we didn't know about. And I would say 3 or 4 times now, we've had just small charges, but still charges that shouldn't have been there. $10 charges, $18 here or there, 3 or 4 generally. And we would have to go to guest services and solve that. Now, we had no problem solving it. Every time we went to them, they're like, oh, so sorry, that was an error, and they took it away. But you're going to want to make sure you check that bill and check it before the day you're getting off the ship, because that's when guest services has a pretty long line.
And there's no guarantee that you're going to have any of these charges. Some people don't get any of them at all.
Right.
So don't think that it's guaranteed going to happen, but you should just watch for it in case it does. And it's never been a problem of Princess removing the charges for guest services. And when I compare that to the value of the app, I don't mind. I think the app works good enough that a couple hiccups here and there isn't a big deal.
That's true. So one thing we didn't really love was a change that they've made to what we've always considered traditional dining.
So with the multiple dining rooms and the app and the way that you book your meals, there's no set dining. You don't have a preset, 5:30 at this same table with the same wait staff every single night. That you're kind of picking and choosing your spots and your times, which gives you flexibility. But we've always been accustomed to having the same wait staff and at the same table every night. We have that kind of old traditional type of cruising. And that's just an us thing. But that's one of the things that we kind of noticed as kind of a thing that we would hopefully change.
So one way we got around that was we had reserved on the app the same dining time every night at 6 p.m. And then when we went the very first night, we just asked the maitre d', since we're going to be here the same night, at the same time every night, can we have the same table throughout the week? And they were very nice and were able to accommodate that.
Yep, so that kind of turned it back into our traditional style dining. So don't be afraid to ask for these little things. I'm sure if they can accommodate you, they definitely will.
That's right.
So the last thing that we didn't love was the shower size.
True. So we've been on upwards to almost 40 cruises over the last many decades now. And I have to say, the Caribbean Princess specifically had the smallest shower I think I've ever had to use in any cabin. The Sky Princess, the shower was a little bit bigger. But overall, I feel like Princess, they have small showers compared to many of the other cruise lines that we've been on.
Yeah, some of the other cruise lines have moved to the glass showers with the glass doors and have done away with the curtains. But whereas in Princess, you're still dealing with that shower curtain, and sometimes it can be a tight spot.
Right, for sure.
So yeah, if we could change anything about the cabin configuration, it would be the shower size. There is a beautiful, huge closet that some people like.
I love the closet. But I would be willing to give up some of the size of that closet to have a bigger shower.
Yeah, a little bit bigger shower. Mm-hmm. But other than that, the staterooms themselves were beautiful.
They are gorgeous.
So the big question is, would you cruise Princess again?
I definitely would. We've had wonderful experiences with Princess, wonderful staff, wonderful entertainment, beautiful ships. Totally, hands down, without questions, I would definitely be booking Princess again. How about you?
I definitely would. I think Princess is the whole package for me. It has a nice mix of entertainment and things to do in the evening. I think it has fabulous food, lots of variety in the food. Mm-hmm. I think the ships and the layout of the ships is absolutely beautiful. It has top-notch production shows, which is a special thing for me. Mm-hmm. And I love Love Boat, and I feel like I'm on a Love Boat when I'm there. So it kind of brings it all around for me. And I think that of all the cruise lines I've tried, I think it has the best mix of all the elements that I like for cruising.
Wow. Yeah. High praises for Princess. We do love Princess.
So if you have any questions about Princess, if you're thinking of taking a Princess cruise and we didn't kind of answer your question that's still out there, then definitely put it in the comment section below. We're always checking for people's questions and willing to help you out and answer.
Yeah.
And if you have any suggestions about why you like Princess, then let us know that as well. So
for sure.
We'll definitely be on Princess ships again. So maybe we'll see you on board.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Bye for now.